we getting deeper. So now that we know that King James killed his own mama, and this is supposed to be the book that the Holy Word was named after, we then move on to find out that King James was a homosexual. Now, do we have anything against homosexuals in here? No, we don't. But the thing is, what most homosexuals need to know is your ancestors wasn't gay. The only reason you gay is because it was forced upon you. So I'm not judging you for what was forced upon you. Some of us, it was forced upon you. Homosexuality was forced upon us. And some people that energy stayed with them. You get what I'm saying? Some people, that energy stayed with them, and some of us, that energy didn't stay with us. But all of us was raped, though. I'm talking on a higher level right now. Let's not forget, all of us was raped. All of us. All of our ancestors was raped. They raped the gods and the goddesses. So whether you was gay or not, back in them days, you was taking dick regardless. Why? Because King James had started homosexuality. And everybody listened to King James. Let's get deeper. So it became the end thing amongst the land. If the king homosexual, everybody with the shit. You see what I'm saying? So let's read about it. Right here it clearly says, the king and his husband, the gay history of British royals. The Washington Post put out an article on it. Go to Washington Post. It's called The King and His Husband, the Gay History of the British Royals. I had to do a little digging, y'all, to pull it up. I'm just pulling up shit to back up what I'm saying. I don't have to pull up they shit, but let's do it today. Right? Now, remember, let's keep in mind, anybody that's gay today, you got carbon in your skin, your ass is only gay because it was forced upon you. I don't care if you're a lesbian. I don't care if you're a homosexual. I don't care if you're transgender. The shit was forced upon you. Nobody was gay anciently, y'all. Nobody was gay anciently. Our species wasn't gay. And I'm not attacking nobody gay. So, though, but you're not finna lie on our history and make it seem like we've been, no, nobody was gay. No, nobody wasn't. And if you gay now, that's okay. Be gay. But understand that was forced upon you. That's all I'm saying. I ain't never judged y'all. But I'm saying where it comes from. Okay? And who started it, though? King James. Okay? But what you need to look at is the intent behind why it was started. King James started homosexuality because he wanted to spread it amongst us, because they wanted to always depopulate us. This is an agenda that started way back and it just started now. Okay? Now, when you think about your modern day homosexual, they not trying to hurt nobody. If it's a gay guy and they got their thing going, they genuinely got their love going, or they got their whatever intimacy going. They not trying to hurt the world. If it's two gay goddesses now, they got their relationship, whatever they got going, they not trying to hurt the world. If it's a transgender, if it's a whatever, they got their shit going, they not trying to really hurt the world. All right? But it was still forced upon y'all. Y'all was born into this shit. But it was a time when there was no homosexuality, no none of that at all. And that was forced upon our species because they wanted to rape the man. It was called buck breeding. Okay, understand, King James started buck breeding. All right, homosexuality didn't even start amongst the settlers. This is what I'm saying. It wasn't like when homosexuality started, these rich white kings was raping each other. No, they was strictly raping us. That's what I want y'all to know. Hear me clearly. Hear me clearly. Y'all don't hear me. When homosexuality first started, these rich white men was not raping each other. They was only raping the male slaves and the little boys, our sons and shit, man. They wasn't raping each other. They wasn't having sex with each other. It's called buck breeding. They would take a strong guy like myself and would want to rape me in front of my son because I'm strong, and rape me in front of the whole village, in front of all of y'all because I'm sitting here waking y'all up. Because I would have been considered strong in the back in the day, right? And then they would take my son and rape him in front of me and everybody. It's called buck breeding, to break the will of you. This is the original way they started breaking our gods, through raping them anally. This is a hidden history about us. This is facts. Hidden history, man. They was raping the shit out of our ancestors, the gods, man. That's some shit y'all need to know. Some shit they won't tell you in school. It's called buck breeding. Bug breeding. I know, sad, ain't it right? Fucked up. I know it's fucked up. But that's what they did to us, though. Alright, that's what they did to us. Been doing to us, man. They been doing us dirty. They been doing us dirty a long time, I'm telling y'all. So homosexuality was not like it is today. It was started with the pure intent to not only depopulate us, but to demasculate our gods. To break our will, physically, mentally, and spiritually, so that we wouldn't resist this slavery that they was forcing upon our people. And guess who started it? Guess who signed off on this buck breeding? This raping of all our gods so that we can't defend our women and shit. Guess who started that? King James. Did you know it was legal? It was legal. It was like, if you rape your slaves and shit, or rape any black or Latino with black slaves, it was legal. King James made it a law. It was called bug breeding. Y'all don't hear me. This is why people even start becoming gay amongst us. This is how that shit got passed down. Now today you got people that's naturally, they got that gene in them. They like other men, or they other guys, or they like other guys, but you not knowing where this originally came from though, man. You know? And then they used us for sex shows. Like, they show you pornography now, but who do you think was the first porn flicks? We was. For them though. Y'all don't hear me though. Who do you think was the first porno? We was. They would sit there. It would be that rich king, that rich white racist king, and that rich white racist queen, and they would sit there and they would bring some slaves in, and they would make us have orgies in front of them, and they would jack off to us, and they would play with themselves and watch us. We was the first porn stars for them. Facts. Fact. Oh yeah, this shit run real deep. That's why I be coming like I be coming. We have no clue what they have done to you, man. All right, so King James, he started homosexuality as a weapon used against us originally. And then once they started having sex and raping us, they seen that they liked anal sex. And then they started having sex with each other. Eventually, that's when they started Christmas and started having sex with each other. But when they started homosexuality first, it was used as a tool. Buck breeding. You know what I'm saying? The harness I see in the conquer us to control us. Facts. So, let's read about it a little bit though. This article is about a Washington Post called The King and His Husband and the Gay History of British Royals. Alright, so hold on. Get down to King James. Now pay attention to this. I want y'all to remember that King James was a homosexual because it's going to make sense later in the lecture. But let's read about it. King James, who reigned over Scotland and later England and Ireland until his death in 1625, attracted similar scrutiny for his male favorites, a term used for companions and advisors who had special preference with monarchs. Though James married Anne of Denmark and had children with her, it has long been believed that James had romantic relationships with 3 men. We're talking about King James. Although King James married Anne of Denmark, I'll say it again, and had children with her, it has long been believed that James had romantic relationships with 3 men. Ashmay Stewart, Robert Carr, and George Villiers, Duke of Buckingham. It's King James I'm talking about, y'all. Correspondence between James and his male favorite survivors, and as David M. Morgan theorizes in his book, King James and Letters of Homoerotic Desire, the inscription that moves across the letter spelled desire. James was merely 13 when he met 37-year-old Stuart, and their relationship was met with concern. Okay, so King James says that when he was 13 years old, his first male experience was with a 37-year-old Stuart, which we know would be a motherfucking lie. All right? This is their way of trying to hide his initial purpose for creating homosexuality. They want to make it seem like King James was already getting molested when he was young. You know, the same script they do today, you know. All right? But they say James' favorite boyfriend was Villiers. James met him in his late 40s and several years later promoted him to Duke of Buckingham. See, King James' boyfriend, he loved that boyfriend so good, he promoted him to Duke of Buckingham. You know what I'm saying? He loved the fuck out of that boyfriend. They promoted his ass to the Duke of Buckingham. You hear me? And it says that's an astounding rise for someone of his rank. I'm pretty sure it was. He was getting them cheeks clapped. So shit, he gave him that raise. But anyway, Berger records the deeply affectionate letters between the two in 1623. In the 1623 letter, King James refers bluntly to marriage and calls Buckingham his wife. So, King James in a letter in 1623 has a letter where he calls this man, his wife. Okay? Let's read the letter out loud. This part, at least of the letter. This is from King James to his lover. I cannot content myself without sending you this present, praying God that I may have a joyful and comfortable meeting with you, and that we may make at this Christmas a new marriage ever to be kept hereafter. I desire to live only in this world for your sake, and that I had rather live banished to any part of the earth with you than live a sorrowful widow's life without you. This is King James' letter to his gay lover. And may so God bless you, my sweet child and wife. So he did call him wife. And grant that ye, there it go. Now y'all know where that ye come from in the Bible. He ye in his ass in this letter too. And grant that ye may ever be a comfort to your dear dad and husband. Right, you didn't even know that ye was homosexual shit. But it was though. And they had us saying that shit as kids and we didn't even know. We not attacking the homosexual community. We just getting down to the facts right now. You know what I'm saying? All that die and ye and where art thou? Yeah, that's homosexual slick talk. You see what I'm saying? From back in the day, see, we didn't know that. And they got the shit all in the Bible, King James Version. Nigga got his own version of this shit. You hear me? So, that was his letter to his gay lover. So, okay, King James was a homosexual. So, we know he killed his mama. He was a homosexual. Let's keep reading out. Let's keep finding out about who this King James guy was. Let's keep finding out about King James, y'all. And let's not forget he was gay, because that's going to matter later. All right? Let's see. This is the important chapter right here I'm finna read, y'all. So look, I want y'all to know King James' vision. We all know that Great Britain is the world power, right? Like, the British royals, right? The British royals, we know about the Queen Elizabeth and them all to this day, right? They're very powerful. They run everything, right? They right under the Vatican, right? So let's find out how Great Britain became unified. King James did that too. That was his vision. Let's read about it. Because you know, right now, the world power is Great Britain, right?